welcome to Heavyweights the Weigh In. I know it's been a minute since I've given you an episode, but I'm back, and I promise you it will be worth the wait. The episode that we're going to get into today is called Battle of the Minds. Very similar to Battle of the Sexes, but I just wanted to put my own little twist on it and bring together a group of male and females and gather their individual perspectives on relevant topics in 2020 that I feel need to be discussed. I left no room for inauthenticity, only room for honest and genuine conversation. So I will not keep you waiting any longer. Without further ado, welcome back to Heavyweights the Weigh In. Let's get into it. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heavyweights the Weigh In. I am so excited to have y'all here tonight. Look at all my beautiful participants. Thank you so much. So this is episode 3. Oh, thank you. This is episode 3 of Heavyweight the Weigh In, and we are calling it Battle of the Minds. So it's very similar to Battle of the Sexes. However, we are leaving gender out of the equation. I just want your individual perspectives, your thoughts, and especially in 2020, I know some things have changed, okay? So without further ado, we are going to get into it. We're going to start introducing ourselves. First, we have Lanasia Buck. So you want to go ahead and give a brief introduction?
Yeah, absolutely. Lanasia Buck. You went by my full government name. I typically go by Lanasia Angelina.
Oh,
okay. Sorry. It is my name, so I ain't mad. I am 29. I will be 30. I will be 30 next month. Oh. So this has definitely been a year of extreme growth, extreme opportunity. I am a coach and a life and leadership coach by profession. I have my own company, Rise Coaching. That's what I do full time for work. Mm-hmm. And I'm also a new author, as we just talked about, of the Balance book, which is 21 Days of Guided Motivation and Meditation, just encouraging us all to check in with ourselves regularly. We spend so much time cultivating all of the other relationships in our lives that we forget about ourselves. We don't know ourselves because we're not simply asking questions, right? To gain a deeper understanding of who we are, what we want, the path that we should be on. And that ties a lot into the work that I do, which is focusing primarily on mindset management. Okay. It's not about mastering your mindset because the ebbs and flows, they come and they go, baby. So it's really gaining a deeper understanding of who you are, raising your awareness so that you're able to successfully navigate through those challenges that you face in life. So that's what I focus on as a life coach. My philosophy is that everything you need is already within you. You just have to tap into it. I do not give advice. I guide you to the solutions that you already have by helping you to gain a deeper trust within yourself so that you can make those decisions that will lead you to long-term success with, more self-assured. So that's it. That's me. I am a doodle mommy. I have a golden doodle. He is the only one with pictures all over my place. His name is Fresh Prince.
Okay.
And I am that's me, and I'm a lover of Christ. I'm a God girl. So yes. That's a little bit about me.
Okay. All right, girl, you the bomb. Okay. All right. So let's start with a guy. So Purse Chioki, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
What up, though, everybody? My name is Chioki. As Tifa said, I am her personal. I met her at a basement party a couple of years back, and we've been close ever since. I'm a father. My profession is a school counselor. My vocation is senior pastor at the Shiloh Deliverance Church. Did I say I'm a daddy? Yeah. I'm a father and a baby. I'm both of them. Okay. I'm a father and a baby all at the same time. Got to get you somebody that can do both.
Oh, Lord.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad that you going ahead and pursuing your passion and what you were supposed to been doing. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you, first. All right, Chantel McChristian. Maybe I
Hey
shouldn't say y'all whole
everyone.
government names.
Okay, can y'all, I hope y'all can hear me a little bit better. I'll try to talk as loud. Can y'all hear me a little bit better now?
We can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
hear.
Okay, all right, thank you. Well, my name is Chantel McChristian. Most people know me as Telly though, so it's more of a memorable name, but whichever one works is totally fine. First and foremost, I'm a believer in Christ. I grew up in the church, but my relationship with God became very spiritual back when I was about 22 years old, and especially now with everything that's going on. I'm a graduate of Oakland University, have my bachelor's in psychology and a master's in counseling. I'm taking a break from doing counseling right now, but it's so many different ways to help people. Being a coordinator of the helping with the homeless population out here in North Carolina, it's been a very rewarding experience. Something about me, I'm very down to earth. I do have a big heart. Some people say I'm crazy, but in a good way. And in my free time, I'm an artist. I love to paint. That's definitely one of the gifts that God has blessed me with. And every time I paint, it's the Holy Spirit just using me. So I'm definitely thankful for that. And I do have a lot of different projects that I'm working on right now. A lot of it stuck in my head, others I'm actually working on. So hopefully 2021 will be a different experience, but I definitely want to share more art, something that's more spiritual but introspective at the same time, like where you can look in the mirror. It's like, okay, I need to like really change my life. So that's really the focus right now. So where you can follow me at, I do have a Facebook. My personal page is Telly with 2 Y's, Tellyyy, Denise, or my Instagram page for my art is Works by Telly with 2 Y's, and that's Works with the S. But first and foremost, I know we all know this, but just it's definitely been a reminder just to put God first in everything that we do, because he is a jealous God.
Yes, yes. I've seen some of your paintings. They're awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's have Daryl introduce
Hello,
yourself.
hey everyone. Tifa, thank you for inviting me to this.
Of course,
Thank you.
of course.
So, first of all, my name is Daryl. I am definitely a child of God now. Recently, in the last few years, some struggles have driven me closer to Him and driven me into a lot of different places I never would expect it to be. So, I'm definitely appreciative and thankful for Him first and foremost. I am a father. I'm a husband. I got 3 girls.
Yes.
3 girls. I'm a nurse. Yeah, it's stressful. Like you don't see my gray in the camera. It's coming though. But I'm a nurse in the medical ICU. I also do hospice nursing, and I'm a realtor and a real estate investor here in Detroit as well. So, like I said, the Lord is he's a great author, and I never would have
Yes.
seen any of this coming. So I am
Yes.
definitely appreciative. But
Yes.
just a little bit about myself.
Yes.
About it.
Yes. Y'all dope. Okay. So last but certainly not least, we have Maddie P.
That's me.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. Also known as my best friend. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, yes. Look, I should change my name. That's my best friend on my on Zoom. But yes, my name is my full government, since we're doing governments tonight, is Matthew Pari. But nobody calls me that. Everybody calls me Maddie P. Everybody been talking about God. I mean, I'm a gift of God. I got it on my arm. So like that's something. I am, gosh. All right. Look, I've got 2 kids, godchildren, so they aren't mine. And so that's as far as this children and father thing is gonna go. I am a artist as well. So look, everybody out here got our own little things we're doing, but I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter. So I've got a lot of music out right now under my performance name, Maddie P. That's P with a period. Otherwise, you get some guy that's not me. So you can check out my albums. Single AF. All right, this is my baby, and then Transitions. This is my old baby, and right now for the holidays, you can check out Christmas AF, because I mean, look, you gotta hit people on all sides. So check out my music there. I have recently got into acting as far as like film acting and everything else. So I'm in a mini series right now that's on Amazon Prime called Fakers. You can check that out. And I do a lot of work with the Detroit Actors Theater Company. So singing and performing in stage plays and cabarets and things like that with that group. And yeah, for regular work, I work for Quicken Loans. I'm a trainer, so I train all sorts of people across the country, real estate agents, insurance agents, financial investors to understand how to originate loans and stuff. So look, we got that covered on this call. So if y'all are trying to do this stuff, holler at us. But yeah, I'm happy to be here and excited to get some insight in here tonight.
Yes, awesome. So those are my guests tonight, guys, and I am so excited to have you all. Thank you so much.
Excited to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. And of course, I'm your host, Latifah. I don't go by no nicknames. Just call me Latifah, or you can call me Queen, whatever you want to, you know. So I'm your host tonight, and I'm gonna get us started off and answer the first question just to break the ice and get y'all out of y'all, you know, comfort zones. Does it matter if a person has a different religious belief than you? And this is for a friendship or a relationship. So I guess I can start off by answering that question. I do think it's important in a relationship to be on the same page as it pertains to religion. Reason being is because I feel like there would definitely be some, you know, conflict within the relationship if you guys aren't on the same page. That goes with bringing up your child, you know, what religion to raise them, you know, and also, I don't know, just everyday stuff, like what church we going to, and if you a Jehovah's Witness or something like that, like they don't believe in celebrating holidays. And so I think it matters. It definitely matters. But as far as friendship, I do not think that that's an issue. Reason being is because with friends, you know, you never know how your actions may, you know, persuade someone or shift someone, you know, perspective, or have them come over to, you know, how you're living or whatever, or what religious beliefs that you abide by or whatever. So I definitely think that with a relationship, it's important. With a friendship, I don't think it's as important, because I've been friends with so many different people, atheists and just everybody. So it doesn't matter. I just think my life will show an example on its own. So, and that's my take on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Daryl.
I agree with you. No, I'm sorry. I agree with you though. But as a friend, I don't think it matters if, you know, what your religious belief is, because at the end of the day, my religious belief tells me is to love everyone, despite
right
what they are. You know, love thy enemies, love thy neighbors. So I will, regardless of what the friendship is, I have no problem with what you believe, as long as you're not disrespectful to me or mine, or, you know,
there
to
we go.
what I'll treat you with respect, just as, you know, you should treat someone else with respect.
Right.
So I don't think that would be an issue. Now, in a relationship, I definitely do think you should be on the same page, as you said, because, you know, there might be certain different levels in relationships. Or in your faith level, but at least you're on the same page, you know, because at one point in time, I wasn't really feeling the whole church thing. I feel like I was scarred from, you know, seeing them selling you religion, telling you to come sow a seed and you about to make all this money back and you should just give us all this money. And it wasn't that kind of scarred me. So I wasn't feeling that the same level I am now as how my wife was when she was feeling, oh, so, you know, hurrah for Jesus, and I wasn't there. So, but at least we were still on the same page. Because when
Right.
it comes to raising your kids, that's something that matters, right? I want our kids to have this foundation, not this shaky. See, daddy doing one thing, mama doing another thing. Who you
Exactly.
gonna go with?
Right.
So, I agree with you when it comes to definitely being in the relationship on the same page.
Right. Okay. Any other?
Can I say,
takes?
yeah, I want to say something. I believe that, well, first off, the most important question is like, what do you define as a friendship?
Right.
So everyone has a different interpretation of what a friend is. And in the way that I interpret friendship, it's, it's got to be purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are walking in the same direction, if we're in a ship, we're going somewhere. And if we're going somewhere, the only way that we can really go anywhere together, like long term, is if we agree.
Yeah.
If we agree, if we have the same foundational beliefs. Now, I believe that you can love anyone. I love everybody. But as far as putting you on my ship and saying, let's go in this direction together long term, you're feeding me, I'm feeding you. I don't necessarily think that you can be friends with someone who does not have the same foundational beliefs as you do, because the purpose of my friendships, my relationships, is to grow the kingdom of God. Mm-hmm. My life is not my own. So knowing that is my ultimate purpose, then I know that certain connections I have to limit my access to some degree. I can probably go have a drink with somebody or, eat with someone, but as far as calling them a friend, I don't think so.
Okay.
But that all depends on what your interpretation of a friend is. So I would say that you can have associates, but as far as friendship, a relationship, definitely not, because now we're growing a family together. So we have to be in agreement, obviously, to some degree. But that's from my perspective, obviously, needless to say, because I said it. So
okay. And I respect that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll jump in on that. I think Evie, you said something that is like truth of our friendship. So I mean, like when we first started getting close in college, Tifa was very much, a spiritual person. And I've been like, I wasn't raised in the church. I kind of went to church on my own accord and kept myself going. And then as I got teenage age and young adult, I was like, I don't know about this. And so in college, our friendship and just knowing you and recognizing like who you were and not, I think to the point that you make, Linasia, like, I agree that we need to be on the same page to some extent in any relationship, but I also like am thinking if we're open to learning from one another and growing from one another, because my relationship with God definitely grew as a result of our friendship and seeing your relationship with God. It wasn't so much like, it wasn't Tifa being like, well, Maddie, we need to pray and we need to do this and you have to do this. Like, it was just, watching the way that you carry yourself and looking at different things like that, where the kind of behaviors when we don't think that it matters or that people are paying attention and learning things from us. And I think that it's one of those things in any relationship. That's what I'm looking for, is do we have the ability to grow together? Now, romantically, I'm trying to see you in heaven too. So like, I need us to believe in the same like end place, because look, after I go, and it's going to happen at some point. Like, I mean, look, I know we might not know each other. Look, I just want to know that you're gonna be around. You're gonna be in the vicinity, even if you're in a different suburb of heaven. I just want to know that you made it over. So, romantically, I want us to be thinking the same thing. But as a friend, I think that, and again, even going into romantic stuff, I think that starting a romantic relationship as a friendship, you still are growing and nurturing one another in that way. And I think that as long as we're open, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
about to be my line. Like, girl, I want to see you in heaven too.
I know,
Let me write that down.
right?
Put it,
Girl,
put it in a thing. I put it in a
Listen, we all learning from one another, even if it's
Yes, we
pickup
are.
lines.
That's
Okay. Thank you, Latifa. So speaking from experience, actually my last relationship, it was probably about almost 2 years ago. I was in a relationship with someone that we didn't follow the same religion.
Mhm.
And when we first started, talking, I said, I hope you don't think that, I'm going to convert to your religion, because like that, it's not going to happen. So don't even try, but I just really, at that time, I loved who he was, but I didn't know who I was in Christ also. I really didn't have I love God and I grew up in the church, but I didn't have my own strong spiritual relationship with God. So close to the end of the relationship, it really, I realized, man, my spiritual, having a equally yoked relationship is just so important. When I want to go to church, he didn't want to go to church. When I wanted to like walk the purity walk finally, just to honor my body as a temple for God, and he couldn't understand that, even when I showed him, tried to show him scripture, because he was just so ingrained on what he believed, and I was ingrained of course in what I believed. So at the end of the day, we were together for probably almost 3 years. That was one of the determining factors to I was like, I can't continue this relationship. So now the goal is, I'm single now, and I'm actually happily single. I'm so happy to say that. But it's like, it's just a prerequisite just to even talk to me. Like, you have to have a strong, relationship with God in the Christian light, now, as far as like friends wise, I think it's important for us to show our light in so many different ways.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be, I do have some friends that they believe in God, but they're still, sometimes it takes people time to like, okay, I actually want to actually submit myself and devote myself, to God. But on top of that, I also have people that are like associates. So I only do certain things with them, but there's some things I'm just closed off to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I do think that it's important to be around like-minded individuals though, but you also got to show your light so we can get more people to come to Christ.
That's what it is. That's the
I
goal.
definitely agree. So let me ask you this though: if a person that we know is probably nowhere near coming to Christ, but at the same time they say that we should always let our light be shown, and we could be the light in somebody else's life. Do you feel that it would be necessary to cut people off for real out of your life if they are not, like I said, these are like, I grew up with, some of my homeboys, like they not nowhere near the level of faith I'm at. They nowhere near what we are, what we talking about right now. But at the same time, these are still good people, but they just not there spiritually. So
yeah.
I really do agree that and that sometimes it comes to the point where you change the relationship. So instead of just being a friend with somebody, you become an associate. It's kind of like, distancing yourself, but still, it's almost like loving them at a distance. Like you still are present and still showing your light. But I'll say, for example, back in my day, like I'm old, but back in the day, like I used to drink a lot. I used to party a lot. And a lot of my friends, they did the same thing. And now that I'm on this walk, I've had to distance myself from people. And it's not saying that, I'm self-righteous or anything like that, because, our righteousness is not really our own. That's from God through us, But it's just, I don't want to put myself in a position to go back into that lifestyle. So I have to put the boundaries up there. Especially when I took this walk, and I have been taking this walk very seriously, I have lost a lot of friends. Even I'll take it to another level. I'm in a sorority, but I don't wear letters anymore. I don't really socialize with any of my sorority sisters anymore. Just as associates, but I don't spend time with them anymore because my identity is different.
Okay.
So I still love them, and I'll talk to them, but it's just at a distance.
Yeah, I respect that. I think that you can definitely pray for people, still remain friends, associates, whatever you consider the relationship to be. But I think it's just important that even if we are going to distance ourselves, just keep them in your prayers, keep them uplifted. But that doesn't mean we can't have conversation with them, like, just call them, how you doing? Everything going okay? Just seeing how they doing. Because like I said, our actions matter, just like as believers, you know what I'm saying? But and that's funny you mentioned the sorority thing. I don't think I've ever mentioned on Heavyweight the Weigh-In that I'm a part of a sorority as well. But I don't know. I see that a little bit different, but we won't get into that because I think it's only 3 Greeks on I'm sorry to leave you out, Maddie Finette. But anyway, I don't think we don't need to get into the Greek talk or whatever, but that's an interesting perspective that you bring up, as it pertains to the sorority, as far as not writing letters and stuff anymore. Okay.
But you know what, though? I think if people would let you, if you decide to go on the walk that you do and you decide to make whatever commitment that you make, those that are not meant to be in your life, despite what you're doing or what you're not doing for them, that's nothing but God to say, yeah, exactly. They don't need to be in your life. But if somebody is willing to accept you and know that if you don't come around no more and you doing what all you doing this and you doing that, it's no shade thrown towards you, but there's also no love lost.
Exactly.
It's like you learn and you grow from all of the different divine interventions, all the different people that you come across. So I appreciate the experience, but things change.
I agree with y'all. Everybody play a part in your life. Everybody.
They really do.
Including your enemies. They play a part. So
you learn something from everybody.
Yes. Yeah. So let's get into the next question. The next question is, what is your definition of success? So I'm going to let someone else take the lead on this question. Who would like to? Anybody?
I think I might have the simplest answer, so I'll lead it off. Success is whatever you deem it to be, whatever you striving for, that's your success. So I think the best way I can put it, so when the Patrick Mahomes and them won the Super Bowl in February, he talked about having dreamed about this moment, having, back when he was playing high school football, thought about always winning the Super Bowl, and yet he got to this point, the youngest quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl. So my question is, what is your Super Bowl moment? So that defines you. That will be your success. So whatever your Super Bowl moment is, whatever you dream about doing, whatever it is that you want to achieve, if you set forth goals to actually do that, that is success. So everybody has different definitions of success. Mine is to be at home and still make good money, because I got 3 girls, so I want to be here to raise my kids and not slave away working 140 hours a week and not being home with my kids, but I can say I provide. So success for me is being able to provide and still be at home. And it's not a dollar amount. I'm not saying I got to be a millionaire, but as long as I can keep the bills paid, keep money in our pocket, and still be at home to raise my kids, that's successful to me.
Right. Okay. Paris, what you got? You've been a little quiet up there.
I'm always quiet. I think there are, like Daryl said, success is a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but I think generally success is like meeting a goal that you set, no matter what that goal is. And I'm careful when I say this, but no matter how you reached it, so like whether it came easy or whether you had to work at it, like reaching the goals that you set for yourself. And then ultimately for me, success is being able to live out the purpose that I feel that God has given me, and live out as in an ongoing thing. So like success is the trip there and not necessarily the destination. It's not the end, but it's me being in those individual moments, moving towards whatever it is I'm supposed to be moving towards. As long as I'm staying on that path, then I count that as a success. And the only thing that would make it not a success is if I turn away from it or if I walk away from it. So staying on, knowing it's a certain level of success knowing what you're supposed to do. Like that's the biggest success to me. Like knowing this is what I was put on earth to do. And just in general, that ain't even on nothing super spiritual or churchy. Like some people were born to sing. Some people were born to help people. Some people were born to fix sinks. Like whatever it is that you were born to do, once you realize that, that's a level of success. And when you walk in whatever that is, then to me, that's ultimate success, constantly pushing towards the goal that God placed in you when he created you.
I completely agree. I completely agree. What about you, Maddie P?
Ash, this one is easy and loaded all at once. So success to me is just happiness. Because to me, being happy that's all I want out of life. But regardless of what I'm doing. So ideally, you know, like Chioki said, like everybody's got their purpose, and doing music, singing, songwriting, entertaining people, that is what I, you know, I feel pretty confident that that's what God gave me as my purpose. And if it's not, I need him to send a hard redirect. But it's one of those things to me where I look at being able to do something that I love all the time. Being able to wake up, and even if it's not that, because even in current times, you know, I do music on my own. I still work a regular job, and that's helping to get me there. But even in that, I don't wake up and hate my work. I don't wake up and have a bunch of negative feelings about stuff. So like to me, on a day-to-day basis, success is just about being happy, because ultimately I've achieved a lot of goals that I've set for myself. And some goals have been things that have actually felt like meaningful in that moment. And then other goals like I've accomplished and I'm like, okay, this is it. Like, so when I say happiness, like happiness is one of those things, like you're never just done being happy. It's a constant state of like intentionally putting your energy into the things that bring that happiness and bring that joy to you. And moments might not always do that, but just again, that constant, that consistent happiness, that's all I want in any aspect of my life. If I could just be happy all the way around, I'm good regardless of what I'm doing, because that's what I need. Happy.
Right. Anybody else?
I'm in agreement with all three of these.
I agree. I agree. I'm in agreement with you guys as well, especially the fulfilling your purpose. To me, that's success. I mean, everybody may not know your purpose, and it may not be something that everybody needs to know up front until you start walking in your purpose. So, but for me, in, knowing exactly what that is, I think that's what would be fulfillment for me. That's what would be success for me, is when I finally fulfill my, God-driven purpose. So, so with that being said, the follow-up question to that is, should this be a conversation that's had, like, when you're courting someone, or if you're in a relationship, like, should this be an upfront conversation that's had? Because I feel like people's definition of success is different, as we stated, right? So if your success is, I want to be a stay-at-home father, that's my ultimate goal in life, or I want to be a stay-at-home mother, that's my ultimate goal in life. Like that's success to me. I finally reached it. I had a child, and hey, there we go. So I think, having these conversations, and before, you start the whole courting process or the relationship, is very important, because I feel that you will find yourself later on down the line having this conversation, and you looking at that person like, who are you? Like, what, you don't want more for your life? You know what I'm saying? So I guess my question to you guys, if you would like to weigh in, what do you think about that? The follow-up question.
I definitely think it's a discussion that needs to be had if you are courting. And I separate dating from courting, because dating is we going out, we getting to know each other. Courting is like, okay, this is serious. I'm forsaking all my thoughts and I'm picking you, and
Right.
we building together. So I think a lot of times when people use the term like unequally yoked, sometimes as Christians, we restrict that to them having the same belief system as us. But if we really look at the just the plain concept of a yoke, that's like the apparatus that links two beasts together to move something in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got one bull that's like 6 feet tall and then you got another one that's only 3 feet tall, they can't move together because they're unequally yoked. Like the yoke is not going to work right. And so like you have to have those discussions with somebody that you plan on being with, to make sure that you guys are, if not on the same page, at least in the same book.
Right.
Because success, unfortunately, can cause issues, or the lack of success, or how people perceive
I
it.
agree.
Especially if you have somebody who measures success only in monetary amounts or only in whatever it is, you know, and that's whether they're looking at you to do certain things or be a certain thing. Like people, like if we talk about like college days, like I was popular for a minute just because I was hosting everything. And so I would have people approach me because they would see me on the stage and feel like I had a certain level of success. And what they equated that success to, I didn't equate that success at the same level. Mm-hmm. So people would want to talk to me or be around me because they would feel like I could give them access to this elite class of whoever. And I'm like, girl, like I just stood on stage for a couple of hours, told some jokes, got this little $300 and walked away. Like, I'm not going to be able to get you into the after party for free. Like, I don't know Chris Rock. Like, I'm not really famous. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people have that, they come in, they have that idea like, okay, this person is at this level of success, or they're doing this, so I can come in. And unfortunately, in some situations, you have people that don't want you. They just want the success that they think you have.
Yeah.
And so those are discussions that need to be had. Look, these are my goals, and this is how I'm measuring my success. And the other key in that is that when you have somebody that is going to be in your life, or is planning to be in your life for forever, they need to be able to support you how you need to be supported. Yeah. So if success to me is being a dad that's able to have the liberty to stay at home or go to the office and still be able to provide for my family and raise my kids, then I don't need anybody pushing me beyond. Yeah. I mean, I could give biblical examples, but I'll give a real ghetto example. Tasha and Ghost. Tasha's idea of success was Ghost selling bricks.
Nope, forever.
I can get up. Okay.
And Ghost's idea was owning, ownership.
That's a perfect example. For real.
You know what I'm saying? So because her idea of success was different from his, then the baby got shot, they son selling drugs now, Ghost got killed.
Somebody ain't watched this.
Oh,
spoiler. Boy, if you ain't watching by now, you listen. It's free game. Speak freely.
But yeah, so like I think that's a very important discussion that needs to be had. And I think a lot of times people glaze over it because we bring our own ideas into relationships.
Yeah.
And then we expect everybody, because it's unspoken, we expect everybody to automatically agree with what our idea is. And then when we find out like, oh, you don't believe the same thing, that's when it becomes a issue.
Yeah. Hey, back to that concept. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that even more, like in addition to asking what a person's idea of success is, I think it's also very important to understand why they need this to be success. Mm-hmm. Because what I like to listen for because trust me, I mean, the dating scene is interesting. It's not so much what you say, but the place that is coming from. Like, what are you speaking from? Are you speaking out of a place of void, of brokenness, of confusion? or are you speaking out of a place of wholeness? So what you're moving towards, what your heart desires. I want to like, what's more important to me is, why do you have these desires? And if it's from a place that is good, then, you know, I can rock with that. I can understand that, because the thing about what people want as far as success goes, I think that changes over time as we begin to discover more and more of who we are. Like, we think we got it all figured out, we know who we are, and then we wake up and we're like, wait, I'm not that person at all. I'm actually, I was that person, but I've evolved into a new version of who I am. So because of that, the things that I desired changed, you know, my taste changed. Right. So what I like to understand is, you know, like, why you desire what you desire. And man, I lost my train of thought, but that was one of them. Why? I want to understand why and how you solve problems. So in the event that you don't get what you want, or you know, you find yourself on a path that's not necessarily in the direction of, you know, this thing that you deem to be success for you, how do you get back on track, or how do you embrace the new path that you've been redirected to? Those things are very important to me. Right.
Daryl, I think you was gonna say something.
Oh, you know, I was just gonna say, you know, back to Chelke's point that, you know, closed mouths don't get fed. You know, it's kind of the similar thing. So if you don't have these type of conversations with somebody, you know, you can't expect them to know when you in a down spot, because you know, potentially seeing that where you want it to go is kind of not working out for you, or what it may be. They don't know how to help you if you ain't never had this conversation of where you going and why you going in the direction where you're going, because, you know, it tell us that, you know, if you want to see what somebody treasures, you know, you can see where their heart is. Yeah. So you can definitely see the why and why people doing what they doing. But if y'all don't ever have that conversation, they don't know how to help you, and you can't expect them to be able to help you when you in a down spot, because this life gonna throw some curveballs, some ups and downs, all type of badness. So you have to be able to be happy in the good or the bad, and somebody has to be able to, as a spouse, should be able to kind of be able to judge where you are in those good and bad.
Right, I agree. And essentially what you're doing is, when you're having these conversations, like, let's say, you know, just on a date, you know, you're having this conversation with someone, like, what is your definition of success? Or, you know, if you see the relationship moving further along or getting serious, and you have this conversation with someone, I feel like it's really important, because because what comes along with success is also telling your goals, right? So if you're stating your goals to someone and they kind of looking at you like, okay, I mean, if that's what you want to do, or, you know, if you're telling someone that, and it's something that you're deeply passionate about, I think, to me, that's a red flag. Because if you're not going to support me right now while we're dating, imagine if we get married and you're not supporting me in my endeavors. Like, I find a huge problem with that. And
but you can never say that, though. You can't say that, because everybody can say what they will or will not do at any given time that's calm and comfortable. Jay told me, she asked me would I not go to nursing school while she went to dental hygiene school, and when she first told me, hell no, girl, I'm about to finish my degree just like you are. But when that time came and we together and this is what she's doing, and I had to fall back from nursing school so she can go to school, that's what I did, despite what I said before all that. So you can't just take somebody what they say and say that, you know, they not gonna fall, because if this is what it's supposed to be, like, it wasn't even a question when she told me that she got accepted in the dental school and this is what it is, and I gotta go to work. It is what it is.
But I think that's different, though. Reason being is because she didn't disagree with what it is that you wanted to do. So I mean, if someone or what she wants to do, right? It's just that it's a matter of who's going to do it first, or, you know, what have you. It's not that you didn't believe in her. But I think when you have someone who doesn't believe in you, to me, that's a red flag. Because
Okay, I get you.
yeah, so that's what I mean by that.
Okay, I definitely get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Tally, you got something to say?
Oh, I'm just thinking about, I feel like I can only say so much because, I'm in a, single space now, and just like working on building myself. But, I just think about, like, from personal experiences, you have someone that's like, they say they have different goals, but then there's no like actual action or, walking towards that goal. Just like, how they say that actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
So, I could think of different, I'll just put like this, I'll keep it general. I can think of other people that I know, they were very, very passionate, like, for example, about like let's say music, right? And their partner, it just seemed like that they were on board, but every time, like she would make some kind of progress, it's like he was doing something to hinder her and hinder her success and independence. And
Who
really
say their name?
towards that, huh? I'm keeping it general like that, but I just think that it's very important just to, be vocal, really just you have to have your own, goals in your own direction, and then just figuring out how you can really support each other. And even let's say somebody is slack and it's like, oh, you said you really want to do this, I'm going to tell you, even if you don't want to hear it, well, if you're working on this right now, how's that going into, progress towards your goals?
Yeah.
So that sometimes having that, that transparency and that tough love sometimes. So yeah, that's all I can really think of when it comes to that.
Okay, good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next question. The next question is kind of like deep and heavy, hence the title of this podcast. But so do you believe that healing is important before entering into a relationship or a marriage? Do you believe that it's important?
Healing from what?
Healing in general.
Or are we talking about emotional pain? It's a difference.
So listen, I'm talking about everything, anything that will, hinder this relationship from being successful and us being on one accord, and your insecurities coming out when I'm saying something, it triggers that child in you or whatever that the trauma that you may have went through. I'm talking about that type of healing. Healing consists of so much, so it's heavy.
And it's never ending.
That's what I was about to say. That right there.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you wait till you are completely healed of everything, then you will be single for the rest of your life.
Oh, for sure. I agree. I agree. And that wraps episode 3, part 1, Battle of the Minds. I really hope that y'all enjoyed part 1 just as much as I did, and I cannot wait to give y'all part 2. However, I will be taking a quick break from Battle of the Minds because I want to give you a special episode next week, right before the new year. I feel that some encouraging words and just empowerment and a fresh new outlook to bring into 2021 with us is much needed. Now, this is going to be an episode that you do not want to miss, so please make sure to tune in. We will be resuming part 2, Battle of the Minds, on January 6th. But until the new episode, y'all, I really pray that you have a very Merry Christmas, that you spend some time with your family, that you cherish these moments, that you stay safe, and that you eat some good food. As always, thank you so much for rocking with me. It's been a pleasure, and I am so excited to be back.